Here's another DIY from the retired guy. Today's project is to patch a rotten spot under the eave of this my little outdoor building, the one I'm in now. So I'm patching an area under my roof on an outside building, a storage shed that is kind of rotted. Maybe a squirrel or something was chewing on it, but anyhow, it's right under the overhang of the roof. Here's the roofing sheathing, and here's the trim, and I've got this big gap in here. So I'm going to see if this Evercoat Formula 27 will just fill this in. I'm going to try to fill all this in over to the corner. That's also kind of got some water in it and is soft. So I think I can fill all this in along here, and without having to put some kind of backing material in there, I think I can, there's enough area for the Evercoat to adhere to and seal all this up. So that's my project today. Then on this side of my shop, I have carpenter bee holes. These were, probably 6 inches deep. When I moved into the house, it was around carpenter bee season in April. And I guess they come back to the same nest, but I jammed steel wool into these holes. They weren't real happy. Those holes are filled in with steel wool. And then I'm gonna put some Evercoat in there, basically on the top. Trying to use up this can. I'm gonna plug those holes and sand and paint over it so they don't look so bad. I'm gonna try to take the easy way out and back on this Evercoat. I did a video on this on a windowsill repair that I did, but this is a can that I've had for, I don't know, 6-7 years, and I've had it out. It's going in the trash after this because it's getting pretty thick. So I thought, well, I'm gonna try it on this rotten area on my roof, on my storage shed. So another area that is kind of out of sight. I don't have to be real careful with it, but I'm gonna try to. This stuff is also good for vertical applications because it doesn't sag. It sets up so quick it doesn't sag that much. So I'm mixing it up on it's an old decorative license plate, piece of tin, and I'm going to try to do a little smaller area than I did last time, maybe 3-inch puddle, and so I don't have so much waste, because it does set up quick, especially I think because this is older. As I remember when this was new, it wasn't this, it would flatten out by now. But even the hardener is kind of getting tough to work with, so this will be going in the trash. I'll get a new batch, new can, just to have around for kind of projects like this. And I'm going to use, that's probably less than what's recommended, but hopefully give me a little bit more working time. What you're supposed to do is just put a thin string of it from edge to edge of your bead, and they call it a ribbon. I don't know, maybe it's wiggly line, but anyhow. So to mix this up, like any fiberglass guys, they do this swirl thing, which I used to do when I did my surfboard repairs. The hardener is white, same color as the paste, so you can't really tell when it's all mixed in, but it doesn't change the color. It keeps the paste the same. It's basically a gray color. which I think is preferred rather than it turning red or blue, whatever color the hardener is. So what I'm going to try to do is take this blob of Evercoat paste by hand, and I'm going to try to push it into this bad spot between the roof sheathing and the trim, and see if I can just jam it in there and squash it around to get it to seal that hole and hopefully keep. I haven't seen any animals in my shop here, but it kind of looks like a squirrel. A squirrel was the culprit that chewed this thing out, and it's starting to rot. The edge of the wood's starting to rot, so this will certainly take care of the rot. All right, there it is mixed up. I'm gonna go put this on. I need 2 hands. I'm on a ladder. All right, I got the first coat on. It's filled it enough that there's backing now where I can get another blob in there. But yeah, what a mess. I don't know if I'd recommend it, doing it by hand, but if you get some in your hair, like that chunk of my head right there, let it dry before you try to get it out, or it's gonna smear all in your hair, so like bubble gum. But yeah, I got one. I'm gonna just keep using this can up because it's going in the trash. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Not real proud of this job, but we'll see how the function. Looking for form, fit, and function, not I guess not beauty. So we'll see. All right, this is the patch done. This is where the big hole was in here. You know, there's a little, that's bare wood there where I sanded down. That's a bare wood. But yeah, filled in nicely over to this corner. This was all rotten wood in here. This corner was shot. So I'm gonna prime it, paint it, and that's not going anywhere. I just put this roof on this year. It's a 40-year roof on this workshop storage outbuilding, and it is attached to the shingles. I did just run it in between the trim and the shingles. I think that'll stay in the weather, heat and cold, but we'll see. If it separates, then I'll have to deal with it. Maybe put some caulk in there, but it'll be interesting to see if that, I mean, it's real solid now. There's no way water's getting in there, blowing in there, lifting the shingle up or anything. But whether it'll stay with expansion and contraction, I don't know. I'm thinking it will. This stuff is made for boats and marine stuff, docks and stuff. So I think it'll be all right. And this is the other area that had a big carpenter bee hole, and the wood was split. It was just a lousy job when they did it. So I just filled in the split areas and did a rough sand on it, and I'm just going to primer over that. Again, I want the bulk in there. I don't want to thin it out. But yeah, that's sealed too. And then there's another split. I'm just going to caulk that. There's a long split between the trim, and that's more of a caulk job there. So yeah, good to go. I'm gonna get this painted. 2 coats of primer, coat of paint, and problem solved. Good to go. Property view holes are plugged. Like I said, they're way deep in there. They run longitudinally with the trim, and I filled the holes in with steel wool. I don't know if that guy's trying to get in his hole or what, but all those holes, deep holes are plugged now, and yeah, there's no, all those guys are going back in there for sure. If there's anybody in there, that's their tomb. All right, so I'm finished. couple final tips. I used that can up. Keep a piece of parchment paper handy to wipe your putty knife off and all your excess stuff. You can smear on the putty knife. That way you can keep your working palette clean. You scrape all the loose stuff off and then smear it on the parchment paper. So I'm done. Again, disposable plastic putty knife. So that's trash. And yeah, all I gotta do is final sanding and prime it. And then I'll get some paint at some point and paint that, and also my windowsill patch within the next couple days. So yeah, it worked good. And I can hear the carpenter bees outside my shop. I guess they're pissed that their holes have been plugged. So, oh well, we'll have to move on.